to another video as part of Good morning. Hit that like button on your way in. And soon we shall begin. Hello, everybody. Ooh, it didn't do the little thingy-majiggy. Welcome to the stream. How are we doing today? Who do we have in the chat? We got Ufuk. We got Jambi. We got Robot. Can you guys go away, please? I want to be fast. You got to be quicker. You got to be quicker to it. What do you mean it's 10 mins because Luke broken CrowdStrike? What do you mean, man? Miso Hero, welcome. Who else is in here? If you are here, then do smash up that like button. And do say hi. Give me a GM. Give me a hype in the chat. Let me know how your day is going. And we'll get started shortly. It's a quiet one in here again today. Good morning, Jim. Is there a delay or something on this stream? Usually we get reactions a little bit quicker. Delirium, super busy, should be better next week. It is the summer. It is the summer. And yeah, I mean, soon people are going to be even more busy, aren't they? Because it's school's finishing in the next couple of weeks. Next week, maybe. Might be the last day before schools break up. So all the mamas and papas out there are going to be busy keeping their little terrors entertained. Enjoying summer fully. Shitload of work in the garden as well. No school here in July and August. Wow. Yeah, today is the, I mean, I think it already is here. It's still early. I think it's the hottest day of the year. One of our few sunny days of the year. It's, yeah, 30 degrees here. 30 degrees here in London. And then next week's going to go back to being rainy again. It's going to be rainy and 20 degrees again like next week, but we have one nice sunny day, so I think I'm going to probably go out and enjoy that after this stream because we haven't had many of them. So that will be the plan for today, but hopefully we can get a decent live stream today. We'll cover a bunch of stuff. Fingers crossed we get a few more people in here, but I guess a lot of people are having the same idea. Holiday time and all of that. It's too hot today. I mean, we can't complain. I've been complaining about it being grey and horrible for like the whole year. So it might be too hot today. I did go out and walk the dogs this morning and it was very, very, very warm. But I cannot complain about that. We're not allowed. We're only allowed to complain about grey. Because grey is bad. Grey rain is bad. I meant a 10-minute because interweb wide outage. Whoa. Well, hopefully, yes. Luke walking the dogs equals dump. That used to be the case, didn't it? That used to be the case, like a few years ago. 3 years ago when we first started doing these. Every time I'd take the dogs out for a walk, I'd be like, guys, watch out, everything's gonna dump. But I mean, that was when markets used to move. That was when stuff used to be going on. Now we just sat here for a day and we're like, is anything gonna happen here? Like, are we just gonna stay at the same price? Literally forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It's going to be so crazy when things start going going mad again, which they will do, I would imagine, pretty soon, within the next few weeks or so. I do think we get that nice mania phase coming back in. So as I say on a lot of my streams, like just wait this out. Just wait this kind of price action out. Just position yourself, because like this chart's gonna become insanely bullish again soon. And this is why I think like the drop that we had last week was just so tough on so many people, because it knocked people out like at the time where people should be getting at their most bullish. I think we're about to go through the biggest phase of the market, the biggest pump the world has ever seen. And yeah, that drop knocked a lot of people out. People that have been here for years and years and years, and it just wrecked them. Look out, market moves, yeah. Christopher Hall, welcome. Best, sir, how high can Bitcoin go? I'm not going to make crazy predictions like that. Maybe we will do a crazy prediction thing. So, maybe we will do a crazy prediction thing. One day. We shall see. Patrick Campbell. I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm doing very well. Okay. So I think we're probably ready just to do a quick overview on Bitcoin. Same as it has been for most of this week, to be honest. Heroin Ostus Deckhaus, welcome. I think it will be a slow weekend with price action. Depends how today goes. I'm kind of feeling another breakaway gap by Monday. Which at that stage could be one that gets filled. But we'll see. We'll see. I think we could get some nice alts price action over the weekend. If today remains stable. Some banks down, airports down, etc. Where is that? I don't follow the news like anywhere at all. Like I'm completely oblivious to what goes on in the world most of the time. I didn't really even know about the whole Trump situation last weekend until Monday morning, because I just don't really follow that stuff. My daily open is still marked on the 12th. Yeah, that was when the 12th. Jeez, delirium. Friday, last Friday. Lucifer, yes. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not going to predict a Bitcoin high because I'm not. Because I'm not, for that very reason, I guess. I'm very good at predicting lows, which is the important thing, right? It's much more important to predict lows than it is to predict highs. So I'll settle for that. I'm never wrong on my bottom calls. And when I do predict a top, it generally is the top. I think just sometimes I think with Bitcoin in the last cycle got a little bit overly bullish. But there are other factors for that. But yeah, I mean, if we look at like the likes of Pepe and Solana, Luna from the last cycle, altcoins, I can predict tops. Easy peasy. Bitcoin, not so straightforward. Because they've got a good track record on altcoins. And I'd much rather short Luna to zero and Solana at the top and Pepe at the top than showing Bitcoin at the top. Coolio. Okay, let's just pause the music. We'll do a little update. Music is off. Everything's okay on my chart, isn't it? I've not got EXO open. I don't think we really need to show EXO because it's just been flat today. So yeah, we'll start off with Bitcoin. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's video, Friday the 19th of July, 2024. This is your Bitcoin market update, and not a whole lot has happened since yesterday, to be honest. So yeah, we've stayed pretty flat. We've stayed trading within this range, which I guess was a little bit of the idea that we'd been looking at anyway, just trading within this little range that we formed after getting that bigger break in market structure and staying relatively stable. I think the drop that we had yesterday, although it was very minimal, gave some really nice opportunities for altcoins, which have since bounced, and things are still looking healthy, I would say, for a move higher towards that point of control. I would like to see that point of control tested at some stage. So before we get into it, I must remember as well, because the very lovely guys at Blofin are kindly sponsoring these videos and these streams now. So do check out the link in the description below for Blofin. The link below can give you a discount in your fees plus 10% deposit bonus up to $7,500. So that means if you deposit $75,000, then you get $7,500 of free money to trade. What you also get is volume bonuses. So if you do trade volume on the exchange, then you'll get additional futures bonuses for signing up under the link below. So yeah, do that if you would like to do that. I would be very grateful for it. And yeah, let's go back into the price action. I need to do like a pre-recorded, this video is sponsored by, no, I'm never going to do that. No, that would be stupid. Anyway, back to the price action. So the daily time frame, okay, of course, we did have this real nice markup that was over the weekend, creating that breakaway gap here and changing the market structure that we'd had since the beginning of June. Now, we hadn't made a higher high on the chart since back in May. That was this one over here. Of course, you did have the low SFP, and then we just grind. You have the accumulation, and I still do believe that this is the accumulation. You have two potential phases here. So you have the accumulation. We then get the manipulation below. Now, that doesn't always happen, but it did on this occasion. And now I believe we're in the process of seeing that expansion higher, and I am very, very bullish for the next few weeks to few months. I do expect Q4 to be a bit of a mad one, a bit of a melt up. And it's just a case of whether we start that mad melt up now or whether we need a little bit more from the market in order to confirm that. I would say a break back above that $70,000 is what we would look at confirmation. And the next time we come up towards these highs, I would imagine my own bias and my own plan is that we do get a clean break of the highs. The range has done its job. We've had the spring. Now, when we do get that break of the highs, it will see continuation. It would not be one that I personally would look to fade. Okay, so a plan previously was that we could consolidate here, take highs, then come down and still continue this range for a bit longer. But because we have seen this drop, I would be looking for a clean break of the highs towards new all-time highs and taking us onto that 100K target, which is there. Like, it's going to be a tough one to get to still, but we do have to. I do expect to be seeing Bitcoin in those triple figures or triple thousands figures before this cycle closes within the next year. Now, just going on to the lower time frames as we Looking at this, we can see we're just currently trading around that daily open. This is very similar to what we had yesterday, where we were just consolidating below what was the previous day open, and this daily level still acting as nice resistance on the chart. So from a 4-hour perspective, there's nothing particularly clean. If there is to be a drop, then I would be looking for a drop into this 4-hour gap where we've got a double bottom down here, taking us into that 62-200 area, and would look for a bounce from there. That was where I would have liked to have seen this range form, is something like this, where we do get that drop to 62k, see how the reaction goes from there, and then be looking for higher prices. Now, we never really got there. Okay, we can take this down onto the even lower time frames and just look at what we had with the single prints here. Is that we have dropped into an area where, I mean, essentially you just have some small imbalances in the chart just here. They've been cleaned up, and we're consolidating around here, with the potential for still seeing another leg higher. When we do look at the fibs, I believe that was also a nice little golden pocket locally from our previous low, and we're still trading along this trend line that we've seen. So we still do have this case where the market is more or less in this parabolic uptrend, and the momentum is with the bulls right now. Now, if we go from this one to this one, we can see like we're kind of right there now. This is our latest trend higher. You'd like to see this zone hold and start to push up towards that 67. So it's kind of exactly the same as yesterday's update. Looking at this as a range, happy to see a drop down to 62k. As long as we're holding 62k and not losing this daily open, this weekly open, we could even wick down to 60,800, and I'd still be fairly confident in this. Going higher than 67 is still the target for myself on this. Now, if we look at just the consolidation locally, I mean, you could maybe call this a bit of a bull flag, or it's like some symmetrical triangle, or it's something along those lines. And if we start to look at the moving averages and the VWAPs from the low, then they're gradually coming up towards price. You can see if we look at where we really had that second bottom where the change of character occurred, where we put in that higher low and got this continuation higher. We're just tapping into that first standard deviation, the value area high of this trend that we're currently in. And if we do draw this from the impulse, then that VWAP's starting to come very, very close towards price here. Okay, so depending on where you're drawing this from, all right, where you look from, okay, this is maybe where it became impulsive, then that anchored VWAP is holding price, and we have had these few tests into that with this trend. So as soon as you get this break here, then that anchored VWAP is kind of holding a support right now. But overall, like I say, still relatively flat. Now, I saw in the comments as I'm doing this, yes, the point of control is slightly different across all exchanges, but the POC that has been the most reactive has been the Coinbase one. All right, we could see as soon as we lost that point of control, we had this consolidation above the POC, and this has remained the same for quite a while. We had that consolidation above the POC previously. As soon as you lost that, that was when I personally flipped a little bit more bearish. Okay, we had acceptance back inside the lower portion of this range here. You'd had the first, I guess you would say, slight change in that market structure where we had the uptrend. Right, you failed to make a new high, and then you started trading below these lows, and then those back tests of the POC did eventually lead to what was a very substantial move down, and it was the altcoins that got really badly hit. So when I was like uber bearish on the altcoins and posting all those bear videos, was around about where this POC backtest, bearish backtest had occurred, and then we just had this downtrend that started to play out. Now what we see is, I believe we've seen really nice strength for the market. I do believe that this is an area in which the market is likely to reverse from and to go higher, but we need to be patient. I would be very happy to see this continue to consolidate, put in one of those like head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders kind of patterns like we saw back here, and then see that continuation and a clean break of the highs. I'm struggling a little bit to find any trades on Bitcoin to take locally. Right, it is just when you look at where we're at, if you look at the session volume profile, there's not really any imbalance in which to speak of a move back up towards those 65k highs because it's been there for a while. could be something. But realistically, when you're holding up here, you've either got to look for a drop towards single prints, fair value gaps, etc. below, or then you've got to look at these MPOCs that we have below. Of course, the ones that we have down here they will coincide with the CME gap. So there is the CME gap. There is a possibility that that could be filled. But once again, as I have said on previous streams, I don't believe that there is a necessity for this gap to be filled until the next bear market. What you generally see with these breakaway gaps when they do coincide with a change of trend, okay, is the market does not fill them because you do not want to give traders that are trapped in this lower range, or traders, you don't want to give another entry for basically longs in this area, because that would be bad, because you had the opportunity to buy. And also, if there are traders that maybe had been stopped on this low and then got bearish and tried to short, you also don't want to give them an exit. So the healthier thing for the market is to not fill this gap. If we are bullish, this gap will not get filled. Now, the gaps that you do need to be aware of, let's say we have a relatively positive day today, we go into a bullish weekend, the next week on Monday starts up here, okay, then that's the kind of thing that I would expect to get a fill, because that is midway within the trend, and you would look to correct that before any continuation higher. That doesn't mean to say that I wouldn't trade the CME gap if price was to come down there. I think that would be a good dip buying opportunity depending on the sentiment that is around. I'd like to see, if things do come down here, people being unwilling to buy it, short positions starting to enter, talk of 40k, talk of 44k, that kind of thing again. If we do see that situation, then that would be an area I would bid into. But if we are going to be bullish, I would prefer that it just doesn't happen, because for a breakaway gap, you do not seek to fill them. And there has been many occasions where this has happened, and the market's never gone back to them until like a year or two later, when it goes into like the proper bear market. So bear that in mind. So yeah, we're just, it's a bit of a void below. There's not really a clear trade to be had here. However, what I would say is, if there can be a break, we can see that there has been this little bit of a trend down. It is in a way flagging. Okay, we've had strength, and then we have this bull flag. It's not something I seek to trade very much, but I would say another move to break this and see some strength today could be that target to then look for dips. If we are to get a little bit of momentum here higher, then breakout trades could be something that can be traded, because we do have a trend. Luna is barking in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. A very annoying dog. She sees another doggy out the window. Luna! Now she's quiet. But yeah, that is, I completely lost my train of thought there. What else could we see? I mean, we have a high volume node here at 62,800. If price does consolidate down here, then we could see that shift in the point of control. So we have this developing POC that's been here for ages, right? Been here for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages. We do have this other one that's down here, this high volume node that happened in this lower portion of the range. Now we have seen a change in market structure. So if price does drop a little bit lower towards that 200, then we could see that point of control shift down. And that would be quite a nice thing. Like, let's say if the POC shifts down, price then holds it, like flips it, holds it. And could that give something? Maybe a chance for a trade there. You might get that little bit of sell pressure early on, which is what we saw previously. Okay, the POC shifted down. You came down into the weekly and the monthly open when it was down here. So this was back in April. You had a month. Believe it was a monthly open from April, or maybe a monthly level from May. One of those kind of things. No, it was a monthly open from May. You came in and back tested that monthly open from May, and then got the move up. we may well see a situation like that again, where the POC shifts down. It causes a little bit of sell pressure, but doesn't create new lows, and then we move on towards a newer high from there. Struggling to find anything else to talk about, guys. If we look at ETFs, has been another day where it was flat yesterday, so still healthy. A 10th day in a row where I think we see net inflows. When we look at the CVD throughout all of this, we're getting it's the same as yesterday again. What we want to see is the spot bid picking up, because everything's relatively flat here within perps. You are building some bullish divergences on perpetuals here with the low that we've just put in this morning against this one, and we're getting those bullish divergences on spot also. If we can't see some spot, if they start to buy again, I think that would be enough just to push this through this little range. If not, then maybe it just continues just to gradually float down without it really doing very much. Just these small like floaty moves down could be something. Just as I'm saying that, we do get a nice like chunk of buys here at market coming in on spot. Is that going to lead to anything? Maybe, maybe not. Not a whole lot going on here. There really isn't very much going on here today. It is a Friday. It could be profit taking day. We're also going to be going into next week will be the week where it's the last trading week of the month. There'll be options expiry. There'll be all that kind of thing. I think if we are going to see a bigger move, it's more likely to happen on that 4th week of the month rather than it being just slap bang in the middle of the month like we're seeing now. So, I mean, the more I look at this, the more I think I should just wrap up this video and get back to maybe looking at altcoins. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. It's before I just keep on waffling and waffling and waffling. It's just to see what happens. Imagining that it's going to continue to be slow. If there is to be more of a dip down, then I think that gives I think that gives more of an opportunity for altcoins. Bitcoin is just stay patient, staying in the long positions, because for me this isn't a take profit level yet. If you are long, reasonable to be hedged in a short position. I don't see any reason why you can't be hedged in a short position. At least like just keep yourself neutral right now. So if you're long from the lows, I'd say you can hold that, because I'm confident that we're going to be seeing higher and that low is going to be the low. But if you want to just go delta neutral at this stage, then hedge that long position until we see some more confirmation, a little bit more of a sign of strength from the market. When we do get that sign of strength and it is like go time, then I think we're going to see everything pick up. There is a lot of money waiting on the sidelines. One of the nice things about being in this space for a long time and having formed connections in this space for a long time is we're going higher, right? We are going higher. I have the benefit of knowing what the big money wants right now, and it is just a case of they're waiting for that go time, which is what we saw back in October here, whereas we're probably just settling around something that's a little bit of a recovery right now. But when we see that spark, it's going to go, and when it goes, it's not going to be looking back. So just stay patient with it. Just don't get wrecked, because it's going to become so much easier to trade very, 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 very soon, within the next few weeks. And then we are going to be looking at just melt up across the board. Yeah. I'm putting my money where my mouth is on that. I'm very confident in that situation. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, and have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye. Did I give a bit too much alpha there at the end? I could come back to bite me in the ass really badly, couldn't it? That really could. Imagine if we don't pump from here, and I'm like, shit. I told everyone we would. I can maybe add a bit more context to that. I've spoken about this before, but Yeah, I mean, you just follow the data. Follow data, follow the money. You don't need to be like, have like inside information on what VCs and what big market makers are looking at. But big market makers are no, it's fine. No, I don't get enough views for this to even be an issue. So I am privy to some information from people with a lot of capital. They're not going to be watching these streams. So if you are watching these streams, I can tell you right now, there's people with billions of dollars on the sidelines just waiting for that spark, and they're going to go all in bid. so, so we just gotta look for a candle. We may have already had it. I'm not seeing that money coming in yet. It's going to come in mainly on futures because they will be leveraging those positions, and it will be done on a lot of the bigger exchanges. Right now we're still in more of a spot environment and a reaccumulation phase. But once that reaccumulation phase is over, that's when leverage starts to kick in, and that's when things start to become a lot more impulsive and a lot quicker, and with that, a lot more volatile. So we will be expecting volatility. Now, when that happens, it will be traders that are... So we're looking at a situation like this where volatility starts to kick in, and I would imagine it becomes quite choppy, at least initially. You'll have like breaks of highs that drop and do this kind of thing, and it will do this, and you'll get sort of something like that gets all a bit nuts. So just be prepared for that. But we are, I think, very soon going to be seeing conditions change, and when they do change, they'll change quite rapidly. So leverage is just waiting to get in. Exchanges are waiting to get back in. Market makers on exchanges are passive right now, and yeah, once they're no longer passive, then we get some nice price action to trade, and then I think order flow becomes interesting. Opportunities become better. Altcoins start to look really good again. But we're just still not quite there yet. Luke, can you saying when their pump is happening? That would be nice. I don't know when the pump is happening. No one knows when the pump is happening, and of course, like market makers and the big funds within the space can get things wrong. Like FTX got it wrong. 3 Arrows Capital got it wrong. It's the same kind of thing, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that just because the big money is prepared to go gig along, it's no guarantee that that's going to play out. It can give you an edge, but we have seen situations where when the big money goes gig along, they get wrecked. But they are going to go gig along soon. So when that happens, it's going to get choppy. You're going to have market makers fighting market makers. You're going to have drops of 15% in a day. You're going to have pumps of 20% in a day. It's going to get exciting again. And we've just been waiting for that for just a very, very, very long time. I think when we time it, we'll see. Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Yeah, FTX went gig along at the start of a bear market. Well, no, FTX would gig along the whole time, and they just did the thing that everyone in retail does: is they just stayed long at the top, right? So FTX basically bought like crazy within that dip, and then it was this kind of thing. We're looking at something very, very similar, where we're kind of like here slash here. I think within this little phase that we're going through now, and we're just waiting for that next spark up. And the leverage all came in, and you get this volatility. But the problem with FTX is they stayed long up here and then just couldn't handle the drawdown, because most of their positions were, I mean, on average around that 42K area. So as soon as 42K was lost, they had leverage, a lot of leverage, and have been buying the top, expecting price to reach that 100K target. Became complacent, didn't have stop losses in place, because they didn't have stop losses in place and they lost everybody's money. So yeah, it could happen again. I think the market's probably evolved a little bit since then. I don't know who could be reckless enough in this cycle. ETF buyers may be the ones that end up being really, really reckless. The likes of ARK, Grayscale, BlackRock. Maybe that's where the recklessness comes from. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Small alts DCA time, yeah. Yeah, altcoins looking really good. And there's a lot of money getting ready to flow into altcoins as well. We've seen that they've healed. The altcoin market's healed itself really quite nicely. Oh, I'm going to put the music back on. It's a bit better in the background. Luke, do you think a 50% drawdown is still in the probabilities? You think going 1x long and just wait 6 months is a good option? Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a 50% drawdown. I don't think we're going to see these lows again. But if we do, it will... What catalyst could it be? It would have to be some kind of black swan thing again. Because they've done the Mt. Gox FUD. So it's done now. They've done the Tether FUD, right? That's passed. So the Mt. Gox FUD has passed us. The Tether FUD has passed us. We always get those FUDs. We get them FUDs at the bottom. The German FUD has passed us. There isn't really any more FUD. Not like typical FUD that can really take us down more. So they'd have to do another wave. They'd have to get creative. They'd have to get really creative with something. I mean, Biden's got COVID. Do they bring COVID back into the mix and we get another global lockdown? I don't know. Who knows? It would need to be. I just don't see a situation where, I mean, there was the opportunity. Like, if you're gonna get to 48 to 44k, that was the time to do it then. All right, but there was no aggression in which to do it. So I don't know. 2017 bull run ended on the Lightning Network upgrade. 2021 bull run ended on the Taproot upgrade. This bull run will end next Bitcoin upgrade. See, I always consider it, because it's more like, because I look more at the what's trading rather than fundamentals. I look to, so we had the 2017-2018 bull run ended when CME listing started. We had the 2021 bull run ended when Coinbase listed on the stock exchange, and they were like the day of the top. So when's the next Bitcoin upgrade? Is there one? Is there a Bitcoin upgrade coming soon? Are we going to get a big update? Are we going to get like something? What we also had in the 2017 cycle, because we did have the hard fork, but that was like, that almost kicked off the mania phase, the hard fork. So it can be bullish as well, like the ETF catalyst has been. When listing dates matches with upgrades. Yeah. What could we get as a top signal? Because we've got ETFs now. What more can there be? Leveraged? No, we've already got leveraged ETFs, and we've got spot ETFs. CME have listed it. Coinbase is live. Don't know. What will the FUD be? Chinese ETFs? Because we've got Hong Kong ETFs, mainland China ETFs. I don't know, but it's still, America's still does more. It's always an American thing that marks the top. I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see what the top is. The top will be Trump saying we're going off of the gold and oil standard. We're going off of the oil standard and moving to a Bitcoin standard of currency. Right, it'll be something government based, won't it? Need to open my water. Yeah. Last question for the night. Could you remind us of the altcoin narratives you would DCA in now? I'm still looking a little bit on altcoins, and I'm kind of just testing the water on stuff, because I still think there's a bit more time. I don't think we really need to be jumping into narratives. AI is going to get another cycle, because that is going to be the bubble. So AI tokens, that's why I'm looking at Tau, and that's why I was, wow, that's gone up a lot. That's why I was buying Tau at the POC, whilst it was below $300. So I think AI gets another really nice run. I still really like the Bitcoin ecosystem plays. So that's why I know Stacks was not the best timed entry, but we're back above there now. So looking at Stacks as being a nice opportunity. Looking at Orbi, yeah. What's your stance on the Orbi coin? Any changes? Haven't looked at the chart on it, but I have some. Yeah, it's just one of those. It's just a new listing, and it's probably just waiting for something. So Orbi's cool. So for Orbi, I was just invested before it hit exchanges. So I think we're just seeing a bit of an exchange dump when it was being traded off of exchanges before the token generation event. It was like down here somewhere. I think I was getting it at like 0.002 ish. I'd have to check where my average is. So we're just seeing the exchange listing just gradual come back to normal on it. Orbi is a bit of a low cap gamble, I guess, in a way. If you want more low cap gambles, I think the Bitcoin ecosystem, there's mint layer. Now I did try a mint layer buy before. This is what I mean. I'm testing the water on some stuff. I did buy mint layer, and then I sold it when we just lost, when we were invalidated on that idea, essentially. Now, if it gets back above 20 cents, especially, no, I think even higher, if this was to break through, hold that VWAP from the high as support, maybe around about that 25, 30 cents region, then it might be something I consider going back into. But for this as an idea, that was invalidated. So I can delete all of this because it's no longer relevant. And then I think I do think a lot of the, I think the easy play is just the more recent VC-backed projects that have launched at non-inflated valuations. So that's why ZK, that's why ZRO. So ZK and ZRO being the two biggies that I'd say the larger cap ones that I'm in. So this was a trade that I announced yesterday. So of course, within the crew, for those of you who are interested, I do alert to, let's just bring it up over here. Discord. Let's open it. There we go. So I do alert on trades. So ZK took a long on ZK yesterday. Everyone got alerted to that. We were looking at 4-hour close above this line as confirmation, which is what we had. ZRO gave another good opportunity, took a trade on that yesterday. Tier took a trade on that yesterday, alerted everybody. ERT got a setup on that. So there was someone that mentioned this on a live stream. So I'm looking at a trade on ETH because I actually quite like it from whoever it was that did that. So yeah, ZK is up how much percent since entry? We got a nice 10% move so far. Tier, still think is in a good area. This hasn't moved much, but I think Tier's got a nice setup here. ZRO, how's that getting on today? Down a little bit from that buy yesterday, but still just filling in this gap. So still happy enough with this. Okay, so this is something that I'm compounding. I was buying down here, and this is an opportunity to compound. As long as it's holding this $3.60 support, and everything's looking pretty good there. Yeah, so some nice looking setups. What else do we have? Is there anything else that people want me to have a look at? I was looking at this. This thing's been going crazy. What's going on with ETH? Yeah, this one, I wish there was perps. There isn't perps for ETH, is there? No. It's all just spot. ETH. I can't remember the fundamentals for this one. Gala was another one. So Gala's looking really interesting. This is a daily gap. Ooh. In fact, Gala didn't trigger an alert. Did Gala trigger an alert for me? No, it didn't. Huh. Do I just go long Gala? Do we want to add more exposure? Is it risky? Let's just get my exchange open. Gala. So SFP of the 16th lows. Gap on the daily. Now this could go a little bit lower. But you're essentially expecting that 5th of July, 4th of July lows to hold. So if we are within this area here, it looks kind of nice. Now locally, had a decent bounce. I mean, if this can just come a bit lower. Maybe I just give myself a little bit of a trade so I can feel something. All right, there we go. I just go to the perps. Gala looks nice. I've kind of been waiting for this drop. So we got that. after it came up to there, we've taken that low. Drop it down to the 4 hour. It's the play, right? It's here. Got like a decent 5 hour for this. Yeah. Yeah, Gala's looking nice. The thing with all of these trades, because I'm taking them on, like, this is a 4 hour / daily time frame, right? So there's really no need to rush. Like, I'm not buying this right now, but I think what I'll do, this is something that I tend to do when I have positions, is the real nice thing. If any of you trade on like a terminal like Teal Street, you can run like a TWAP, and you can run it for a few days even. So you can just say, okay, I want to buy $1,000 worth of this with in perps, and I want to just periodically just maybe 10 orders over the next 10 hours of $100. And you can just kind of TWAP in, get a bit of an average. When the technical level hits, now as long as it doesn't just go completely impulsive or like start to fly or start to dump or whatever, then that's generally quite a good strategy. It's a strategy that I personally use in order to just be like, you know what, I like the setup, I'm taking this from a higher time frame, I'm just going to allow the next few candles to develop and just get myself in at some kind of average. So if this does continue to drop a little bit lower, then it's just gradually scaling me into a trade within this. And if it starts to push higher, again, you're just gradually scaling into it, but you're seeing the reaction that you would have wanted to see anyway, so you don't have to time it. We're not in the market right now where you like have to time a trade to the second. It's like you can have a trade set up, it can still be in the same place like 2 or 3 days down the line, and you can just be like, oh look, there's a dip. Oh look, I'll buy a little bit there. Oh look, here's another little dip. The idea is still valid. Okay, we're still here. Like for something like this, you've got another 4 hour gap down here. I'm just looking at those 5th of July lows as being invalidation. We shouldn't be coming back down there again, because I do believe that was a capitulation, or it was the manipulation before we're going to see expansion. So if we drop into this zone, then I'm going to be like, cool, I'll chip in a little bit. If we drop down here, cool, I'll chip in a little bit. Let me see how it goes. Like if you start to lose at this stage, like I've had trades before with this, like if you come down and you get acceptance back below like that point of control, and you start losing this structure, and you end up down here at like 2 cents again, then I'd probably go, yeah, that trade's unlikely to work out the way that I wanted it to. So I just would close out of that before it comes into an invalidation. And you just like play it by ear a little bit. So the setups are there, but the way that you can trade this stuff can just be more of just you just feel it as it's progressing, see how the market is going, because the market's really quite balanced at the moment. We're not really getting much movement, so therefore you don't need to rush into anything. There's absolutely no need to rush into anything when you're trading these. You don't really need to catch the perfect entries. If you get winners, like we've seen with ZRO, if you get winners, you've got time in which to compound those. You've already taken profit and you can hold on to the winners. If you've got losers, you can just close them fairly. Like if they're not working out, just close it, find something else. Take a small loss before you get invalidated. Go into something else, because there's a lot of good chance here. So with that Gala one, I don't know about it, but I'd like to have some exposure to see how it goes over the next like few days or so. And yeah, just play it like that right now. So it goes the same for other things. Like I have that short, what was it? The short WLD. USDT.P. Now I've taken almost all of the profit from this, but again, you can just kind of just let it ride at this stage when you've got a short position. Let a bit more of it ride, see where it ends up, see what the market does, and just look for like the next setup. Like here on WLD, if you hadn't already taken profit, then you can see it's in this 4-hour gap. Is it holding at support? Probably a good point to take profit if you have taken a short position on this. But then there's no point closing all of it, because it could come all the way back down to like $2 again. So yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's just a good market to start flexing some of that capital that you've got available, I'd say. But just like start flexing it. We still haven't had that confirmation that this is going to be that we are looking for higher prices. So it's just a little bit of flex that cash, get some exposure again, and see what sticks, basically. What the hell is going on in Leeds? Yeah, I saw that. Those riots. Is there still more stuff going on? They flipped a police car. Basically, didn't they? This is the thing. Like, it's mad. I saw on. I don't really follow it. What's going on? I saw some guy flipped a car, and I saw Nigel Farage was like, "Oh, this is what happens with." Blah blah blah. You get the idea, but isn't it the legacy of an old Tory policy, which is just like, just kick people out, and a load of like Romanian people got arrested or something, and it created a riot? I don't know, but whatever. Leaving this country next month, so I'm out of here. God, the market's so flat today. Ew. IMX looks interesting. I'll place an alert here on IMX. This is just one of those where, like, the typical accumulate, manipulate, reaccumulate, markup. But oof. IMX down here looks nice. But it's such an old dinosaur coin, right? IMX is kind of ancient. I'm setting an alert. I'm probably gonna try this. Like, look at that gap. That's right where that wick is. So you've got a 4-hour gap. It takes out these lows. So you've had like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You come back down, take out that 4. Bounce back up, and you can just play this as a little bit of a range. Alert has been set. $1.42. Any dip below there, I would consider to buy. To take a long. And it's the same thing, okay? Your technical invalidation is those July lows. But realistically, if you lose that anchored VWAP and you start coming back down to like $1.30, you may as well just get out of it early. It's one of those things like, okay, technical invalidation is down here, but realistically, like when it looks like you're almost certainly going to get that invalidation, it's going to be hit, just close it, wait for another opportunity, take half the loss so that you would have normally made, and move on to something else. Because unless it becomes a winner, you just want to cut them. So yeah, people have been talking about Aero Brett XAI. Not sure about the last one. Yeah, well, XAI is one that I've again testing it as an idea. So I did go long. I don't know where my entry is. I bought some. XAI. Let's just bring up the trade. July the 8th. This was when they announced the change. So I've got this one on XAI. And it's a winner for now. So again, repeat, testing things. Seeing what's working, seeing which assets are reacting nicely right now. I've got some money to play with. You play with it. You take some profits on the winners. You cut the losers early. So if this doesn't start playing out the way I want it to, just get rid of it. Move on. Try something else. Because right now I'm just very much neutral on what assets I like. I don't think we're gonna see any melt up for a few weeks. I don't think we're gonna see any dumps for a few weeks. So yeah, just see if anything starts moving. Things do start moving, but you kind of don't really know what at the moment. So yeah, with XAI, it was more of a case of it had been fudded so much, right? It had so much FUD, and then it had a nice recovery, and it happened like this low just happened right at the time when they announced that they were going to be changing the vesting and the unlock schedule. So I think that's kind of bullish, and just seeing if there's a bit of momentum behind this, and I think the chance of even a mean reversion play that takes you back up towards like 80 to 90 cents back up here can be real profitable, and then you'd look for this to hold some support again. But so much of the market, like things aren't going to get exciting until alts do this, right? Even if this is just a bit of like just a bounce, a dead cat bounce, and then it's lower, you'd still expect this to go a bit higher, just as a small recovery. Like that's not even thinking about where did this come from, and is this going to have a cycle towards new highs? Like it's just seeing if this low has some interest here, bidding into it. If you're profitable from it, then the market can really start to outpace. That's the lovely thing about altcoins, is if you buy like and long positions, if you buy $1,000, if you go long with like $1,000 at 30 cents, if it comes back to $1, okay, the notational value of that has also tripled. So you're compounding just automatically by holding that trade. Whereas if you're like looking at these short positions, then your actual notational value of the trade is going down and down and down as the trade goes down. It's like when you go short on something, and I did this is what happened with Luna. Like the majority of the money that I made from Luna was from that first like 50% drop. And then when it dropped to zero, you don't make anything from those. Like you don't actually make much money at all from trading something to zero, going short to zero, because yeah, just the actual value of that trade becomes zero. So it's like, oh, you go short with $1 million at the top, And then when it drops from $118 to $1, that trade is like, oh, it's only worth like $40 now. So I'm up 100% on a $40 trade or whatever. XIAI entry confluence is current range POC 618, 4-hour local range. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on this really like. Yeah, so if you go see where the POC is from that low. Yeah, you got like something around 32 to 33 cents looks interesting around there, doesn't it? But I don't know, it's not really showing anything like too exciting, this one. It could hold here and go, like you had a decent impulse up, it's corrected all of that, right? You've corrected that move, it's holding, so could just continue higher from here. Yeah. Yeah, look for the cleaner setups, because at least when you got a clean setup like ZK, at least when you have a clean setup like that, where you've got the immediate confluence and you've got a reason, like it actually looks like a very, very clean setup, then you can take some confidence in that and trade that kind of thing. Luke, do you ever play with stupid meme coins, or do you only invest in fundamentally strong projects? I don't do memes. No, I don't do memes. I also don't really believe that there are fundamentally strong projects. Like, I mean, there are some fundamentally strong projects, but even that's kind of just bullshit. I will trade some memes if they get enough liquidity, because for my trading style it needs to be liquidity, right? Otherwise I'm just going to get stopped out and things, and I want to trade leverage, I want to trade futures. So you're not going to get like those pump fund scams and things. I just get wrecked on memes. I've tried them, I've hit a few real nice trades off of them, but the thing is, for every meme coin that I get 100x out of, I've probably taken like 40 or 50 rug pulls along the way. Yeah, so you're not actually really making anything. Like, the probability is so far against you, like it's like buying lottery tickets. So okay, that one win feels great. Oh yeah, I made 100x on that trade, but I'd already thrown, like, let's say it's 1 Solana per trade, and one trade makes me like 100 Solana. I'd already lost 40 Solana, so I've only like actually doubled my money or something. It's just memes are so pointless, man. They're so stupid. So stupid. Just take a trade where you just make that money in something that actually has a technical reason for doing it. The only way you can make money on memes is just luck. They're just raffle tickets. Every meme is just a raffle ticket. You scratch it off, you get rugged, or you win something. And you're not going to hold for 100x anyway, are you? So the thing is, you get a meme coin, and you go 100x, you get 100x or 1000x on that meme coin, but if you've bought it, you've probably taken so many fucking losses before that you sell it at 2x, and then you just still don't make any money because you're still just losing from all the rug pulls. So dumb. Leo, you can still trade big memes though. Yeah, I mean, Whiff was probably one of my better trades from like October, November. And the Whiff short that I had afterwards, and the Pepe short that I had, I mean, Whiff, I can go back and look at Whiff, like, where, at Luke, Wait. Luke Whiff. So like I had trades on Whiff. I can't remember them anymore. They were ages ago. But I had like 1000x on that. 4,000%. Bought it at 50. Let's go with USDT.p. Yeah, I had a trade that was down here somewhere. And that was only at $1.80, so I think we carried on. We had a few more. How did it go? But yeah, there were some real nice trades on Whiff back in the day. There's this one. So, yeah, this is the one. This is where it all started. So we had a daily OB. So, and I think we're looking at a similar kind of market right now. We had this trade here. So this was back here, right? Opened a trade on the 22nd of Feb. There. Where you had 1 day OB. This. So we're bidding into that there. Yeah, 32 cents. So yeah, buying it here, and then just kind of took off from then, didn't it? Yeah, 1,600%. So yeah, I do trade memes when there's a technical reason to trade them. So when there's futures available and when some of these like memes hit the exchanges, they can be traded for sure. Pepe was another one. Like I had real good longs on Pepe. It was ages ago, but then I took shorts as well. But yeah, memes I think are done, really. I think it's over for memes. Like, that was a real nice short. But on Pepe, I think we also caught some nice trades on the way up. Yeah, I don't see memes doing anything. I think it's over for memes. It has been for ages. Has been since like May, June. They're all so shit. So like 99.9999999999999999999% of memes are going to go to zero. So if you're holding memes in the wallet, just going to zero. Dot looks nice. FTM looks nice. What's the best coin to make? Oh, you deleted your tweet. You said, what's the best coin to make tons of money short term? I was going to give you a signal, man. You deleted, sorry, not your tweet, your comment. How to choose coins to day trade. So there's a few nice things you can do. There is, you can use the spaghetti. So you can use multi-asset spaghetti. It's not going to load here. But there's some nice indicators. There's also a nice, this one I quite like. Let me find it. this website. What am I looking for? Ugh, what am I looking for? I use this sometimes. Which is... Get rid of the Discord thingy. RSI heat map. Which is kind of nice. So you can just look at things that are up a lot or down bad on like a daily. So see where opportunities are for like a lot of tokens here. That's kind of nice. You just scan through things, really. I just scan through things. This is why I test trades. Like not every trade is going to be like a hold for target or a hold until invalidation kind of thing. Like I'll test out different markets. Like I'll go, okay, ZRO, I've had some nice trades on that, so therefore I want to continue to look on that chart. If, for example, mint layer or something is another example, I had a trade that didn't work out, so it's just not something I then look at very much. Like if something wins for me consistently and I find an opportunity or I see that there's a nice trade on something, I'll try it. If it makes a bit of money for me, I'll keep that trade on my watch list and I'll continue to trade that because I start to understand how it moves. But yeah, if something doesn't perform well, like let's say, okay, I've just taken, or I will be taking this trade on Gala, yeah? If it doesn't work out, I just stop looking at it, really, and then it's like, okay, well, yeah, maybe this pumps and does something ridiculous, yeah? And does something like this, but that's just the way it goes. Shiva, they have been outperforming for months though, kind of surreal, like currently Popcat and Mog. But they're not like, I mean, memes, you've got to get, that's the thing, right? They're only outperforming if they're outperforming for you. Now, the problem with memes is like 300,000 of them get created every day. Are you getting them when there's opportunity there? Or are you suddenly becoming interested in them when they hit exchanges and perpetuals come on and they start to dump? Like, this is the thing, it's like memes are only good if they're actually performing for you. And I don't see anyone that is getting value out of trading meme coins right now. Like, you're just losing money because by the time there's hype around it, it's already done. A meme life cycle is like a day. And then maybe 1 in every 5 million gets a CAX exchange. And for everyone that goes onto an exchange, 1 in 100 of them then get more of a pump. So like, okay, Popcat is, yeah, fine, it's done great. But did you get into it early? Or not? Like, it's just like, by the time it hits the exchange, it's no longer a meme coin. It's just a token that's being traded on an exchange with market makers. All right, it's not, for me, that doesn't, it's no longer a meme coin. It goes into the same as, it's the same category as everything else. It's just a centralized exchange traded token at that stage, because then you've got market makers involved. The whole point of meme coins is they're organic and they're all rug pulls. But by the time you hit an exchange, it's no longer a meme coin. It's just the same as everything else. So yeah, I'd trade Popcat if it has the same, like, I mean, if you've got nice price action on Popcat, sure, I'd trade it. I would absolutely trade it. But I don't consider it to be a meme anymore. It's just a token. It's like Whiff, it's not a meme anymore. Doge isn't a meme anymore. Pepe isn't a meme anymore. Hi Luke, check out your $69 I sent you. We went up a bit, building on Shireen and ready for a run. Oh, was this, what ticker was that? I still haven't put my, yeah, I need to check. That was on, I can't remember. I've got it on a wallet somewhere, right? Right. What was the ticker? I deleted my previous message to add Taurus Crypto to it. Of course, I hope to still get an answer. They don't have to be meme takers. Yeah, it's the stuff I've been talking about, right? Because I talk about the stuff where I see opportunity. So if you just watch the streams, then is there a... No. It's on... What is it? Yeah. I'll look at it in a bit. I'm not going to look at that. Shiba, yeah. Is it on deck screen or anything? Yeah, just watch the streams. And if I'm mentioning tokens, that's where I see the opportunities, yeah. I wouldn't mention them otherwise. And if I'm not mentioning it, it's either just I haven't seen it, I'm not aware of it, or I don't see it as being an opportunity. If I see an opportunity, I mention it. I'm live every day, so if I see something, I'm always mentioning it. How to pass prop firm test with small account. Join Taurus, take the mentoring, and get guided through it. Basically, everyone who's taken the mentoring on within the crew has passed the prop, has passed the combines. I think everybody. It's a guarantee. But yeah, I mean, just trade. Like, I don't know, trade. A lot of my alt trade setups get invalidated when BTC moves and drags the alts up or down. The best way to take trades in the same direction as BTC when confident that BTC will not reverse. Yeah, I mean, the conditions right now aren't ideal. Okay, if you're finding it tough, just don't bother. Like, yeah, at some stage it'll become a lot easier. So if you're losing trades and you're getting invalidated on small moves, you either just need to look from a higher time frame perspective and just give them more time to play out, or just yeah, relax maybe a little bit and wait for the conditions to improve, because they will improve. Conditions right now are like a 2 out of 10. I mean, last week, like back here, they were like a 1 out of 10. Right now, they're probably like a 2 out of 10 trading conditions. Wait for this. This is 10 out of 10 trading conditions. Yeah. And we'll see something like this that happens again. All of this shit, 1 out of 10. Maybe the 2 out of 10 down here. Then it'll flip and it will suddenly become real easy, and things will just start clicking and things will just start working. And all you got to do is just keep your capital until that moment. Don't get greedy. Don't get impatient. Sit. If you got like $1,000 to trade with the best thing that maybe take it's good to dip your toes in and try things, like, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying stuff. But if I don't see things are working out my way, I just close the trade probably the next day. I'm like, I'll move that into something else. I'm just testing things out. So, yeah. Influencers shilling prop firms for commissions is the new meta in the space. Yes. Is that what they're doing now? I mean, I'm partnered with Top Step and with Bright Funded, but I don't shill the things. If anyone wants a ref link and you get a discount, hit me up. Like, I should probably start adding them to my links. That's what I do. So good to know it's not ideal conditions and not entirely before. No. If you're finding it tough right now, it's not your fault. Like I'm not really trading at the moment. Yeah, I'm not really trading very much. I'm looking at stuff. I'm trying things. We get some nice setups. If I see something I'm really confident in, I'll take a trade. What's your strategy in a strong market? Small pullbacks, meteoric rise. Hard to get in those conditions. Yeah, I go hard. I just like absolutely smash as much as I can. I'll go onto low time frames. I'll look for any little dips. I'll just go bang, leverage, just go hard. Just like sit out these conditions. And when you get that trigger to go, just go all in. Like take the risk, because the next time we start going up, it will be the last time it happens. So, I mean, the chances are within crypto, you're going to liquidate an account one day. So you may as well just go all in when you can. Try and make it as best you can. I mean, wouldn't it feel better if you just like the worst thing, so many people get liquidated on these moves here. Like I would much rather just go all in, put in a load of risk, either 100x my entire portfolio or lose it all. Like I take risks when the market's in my favor. And sometimes I haven't really had a situation. The only time I've been burnt on that was on this day here. And I lost like about 40% of my portfolio in like one go. But I was already up like 400%, so it was fine. It's fine. How to mark weekly, daily, weekly levels on stock like we mark in crypto, because there's always gaps up or down. You just mark the close from that day. Or just turn extended trading hours on a stock. So if you go to like Tesla, for example, so open up Tesla, right? You can see, you just mark the closes. Like I don't see them as so much, but you can just go, okay, look, there's a daily level here. Yeah. Opens or closes, right? You see there's a daily open that hasn't been tested. Open / closes, yeah, you get the idea. But also, like, you can do, because what you can do is you can just turn on extended trading hours and then you don't get the gaps. You get the gaps when it's like that. But there's not a lot of liquidity outside of trading hours, so yeah, just yeah. Hey, Luke, ask on CC, but ignore that. Do you think shorts being induced for closing sessions? I don't know. Like, we're seeing, we've got bullish divergence today, so there have been shorts opening down here, probably expecting lower. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. US Friday into weekend. Yeah, I have a feeling that we get a move up today and we have a nice weekend, a green weekend. But we had a green weekend last weekend. I think we can continue to see that trend continue to play out. What is legacy markets doing? What is the Nasdaq doing? Are we looking bouncy on there? Because that will help us. Because of course, legacy markets have had a real nice dip, right, over the past few days. A really nice dip. So why is that on a Now I'm still looking at maybe a tiny bit lower on the NQ. But then I think we could see a decent bounce. So I've got alerts down here, but there's been a really quite substantial drop from legacy markets over the past few days, and Bitcoin hasn't really reacted to it. So if it starts to bounce, which it probably could do. It's been a bearish week for stocks on the whole. So a lot of that profit taking for short positions will play out today, which means we may see a reversion on that. But it's been a bearish week for stocks. Yeah, bounce would help Bitcoin. Context if you can, run total 3. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute. I'm getting a bit all over the place. This is what I'd spoken about on total 3, right? Because we had that manipulation, then the reclaim. Yeah, total 3 looks good. You had a change of market structure. You're holding here. I do think the market looks like we've seen a sign of strength. Okay, we've had a change of market structure. You'd look to buy. You just bid opportunities. If there is to be a drop back down to 600 billion, you've got nice like gaps here, haven't you? So if there is to be a test of 600 billion, maybe that's Bitcoin taking it back to 62. That could be nice. 12 hour. Yeah, this is a bit of a messy chart. Let's get rid of this. I mean, if it's holding like that support, that's really bullish. I would prefer to see a dip back down here. I just don't know if it would happen. This may just be a case where it's like, you know what? Cool, we've changed market structure. We're not going to dip. We're just going to go. Yeah, a back test of 600 billion does look really good though, if that does happen. How's ETH BTC looking? Because I was expecting another drop on ETH BTC back into here. Yeah, everything's pretty flaggy for higher. Yeah, I'm gonna close the stream there. Like my overall like feeling on this is, I mean, if it drops a bit further, great, right? That gives us more opportunity to get into. I don't feel that there's a need for the market to do that right now, because I think that the drop that we had recently has been more than sufficient. And I think yesterday was a good opportunity. We saw some really nice clean setups presenting themselves there, and we're getting some bounces from those. If it is to come lower, just add more. I think it's time to be a bull again. And just like, there's still a lot of talk of lower prices, and there's still a lot of bearishness here. And I think this rally is just cooking. It's just starting to heat up. Yeah, I think the market looks fine. I think it looks absolutely fine here. It can change quickly. Yeah, we know it can change quickly. Like, bias flips very, very quickly. All right, I was bullish up here, right? I was bullish up here. As soon as we lost that POC, I went into bear mode and I was like, oh, it's shit, everything's shit, fuck this market, we've lost the point of control, I hate everything. Yeah. And I think I just had like a good 2 weeks or so of just like, bearish. But as soon as we started this week and we had that strength on Monday, and actually I just started the week and I wasn't aware that we'd had a weekend pump. I had no idea we'd had a weekend pump. And then from the price action we saw on Monday, that was like, yeah, okay, cool, bullish. So unless like it can change very, very quickly, and that's why I go live every day. But right now, yeah, today things are looking really good. Now we could have a big candle that dumps us down below 60k, and if it dumps us down below 60k, and if that happens, then you just got to react to that. And you got to be like, oh fuck, okay, that's weakness. We're back down here again. That's not looking good. I don't want to see a gap fill. Shouldn't be happening. Okay. If we start to get down to a gap fill, I would probably become bearish again. I would likely trade it. I'd likely try along. But I think if we do start to come back down below 60k and we start looking at that gap, I'd flip more bearish again. So unfortunately, that's just markets. You just got to react, and one day you can be bullish, the next day you can be bearish, and that's why you have to be here every day working on it. And you can't go, oh, you were bullish 2 weeks ago. Why are you suddenly changing your tune? Like, I can't control this stuff. So just got to do the best we can to make some money wherever we can from it. So yeah, cool. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you again very, very